my freshman year of high school. One morning, I remember just waking up. I just had a freaking huge migraine, and my mom, she gave me the day off from school, and she gave me a 10 milligram Vicodin. And I just remember when that feeling of that pill hit my opiate receptors, my brain, and just the warmness and everything, like immediately was just like, yes, this is what I want. So in 2020, my girlfriend, who I'd been with for 4 years and lived together with for 3.5 years, you know, she ended up committing suicide after she died. Man, I wasn't trying to kill myself by any means, you know, but at the same time, I sure as hell didn't care. Now, I'm actually John Seclecki. I have, you know, started a pressure washing company, you know, Augusta Wash LLC, and, you know, I actually, for the first time, love myself. Truly love myself.
My uncle came over, and it was me and a bunch of my friends. We were probably 14 years old, and I can remember just smoking marijuana for the first time, you know, and just that feeling of escaping from day-to-day life. Just, it was almost surreal. I had to start going to find people. You know, my uncle obviously was a one-time thing, and you know, I called him the next weekend. I'm like, hey, you got some more? No, man, I was just trying to do that. You know, don't be calling me for that. Your mom will kill me, you know? And so I had to start going to other people. And naturally, you know, marijuana just happens to be what's around, you know, all the time when you find other substances. You know, even if it could be heroin, they're the worst. There's always marijuana around. It's just something that, you know, if there's dope around, other than, like, when I say dope, I mean things that are harder than marijuana. There's going to be marijuana around in every circle. That's what I found. So what I found myself doing is going to these other people to look for the marijuana, and naturally I ran into Xanaxes and the whole prescription game thing. My lowest point came after I've gotten out of prison, and would be like in around 2017 or 18, about 3 years ago. I started injecting drugs, and I got introduced to heroin and methamphetamines, and that's when it changed from the happy-go-lucky, like, let's do this to be fun and party, and there was no parties no more. You know, it went from finding myself in you know, in Atlanta, staying in a $500 hotel room with a bunch of people that are laughing and playing and having drugs and going to concerts, and there was none of that. Now I'm finding myself in dope houses, you know, in the worst part of town, held up with 3 or 4 people with needles hanging out their arms, and you know, it was just kind of like that, and that was just.
So I found out my ex-husband was using drugs probably about a month into us dating. I want to say a lot of people at work had mentioned to me that there was something funny going on there, but I didn't really listen because he's a pretty trusting individual. So he actually told me himself, I want to say about a month into us dating. The challenges of being with a habitual drug user probably were the finances, number one, because there is no rhyme or reason when it comes to, you know, bills, things like that. There's no concept of that. It's what they need. They need this drug to get through their day. So if they only have $20 and rent is due the next day, it doesn't matter. That's going to trump that. So finances were a huge part of a huge challenge. I honestly think the thing that helped me the most was going to see a counselor who specialized in dealing with people with addictions. That counselor was able to tell me things about my situation I never would have known. And she was able to point out things to me that I was doing that were hurting him in the long run. They may have seemed, they were good intentions. I cared so much, but my expression of it was not helping him, and I did not have the skill set at the time. I didn't know enough. I think that's a great outlet of trusting someone who has experience in that area and taking their advice, not thinking that you can fix it yourself, because it's far bigger than you.